talk about Trump for a moment and this classified documents case. Another gag order being discussed here as a possibility. The first quote we have on Jack Smith's filing of the gag order reads as follows. Every court to have examined the issues recognized the threat caused by the longstanding, well-documented dynamic between Trump's comments and the predictable response from some of his supporters. So basically making the point, you know, there was a supporter of Trump that called an FBI agent, was actually associated with the Hunter Biden case, and said if Trump wins, you know, there's going to be a lot of trouble. There was threats supposedly that were going on here, so they're arguing for this order. And you say?
Well, I think they've got some traction based on what happened with Alvin Bragg and in the courtroom there, and you have a precedent, right? Also, with the judge in the case in New York City, and quite frankly, Connell, you know, I've done a lot of jury trials in state and federal courts, and nothing like this ever happens. So this is highly unusual for a former president to be making comments and criticizing, for example, if he's going to criticize the FBI, and some of the comments might potentially be intimidating to those who are participating in the trial. And, you know, in the real world, most judges will preserve the dignity and sanctity and the safety of all those involved and tell both parties you cannot be talking about that. So, you know, quite frankly, I would support some type of limitation on all parties, you know, having a dialogue in a public forum about this case.
So just to be clear about what you're saying never happens, because there's a lot about related to these cases that we've never seen before. You just mean a defendant speaking this way or something else?
Yeah, Connell, no way. Yeah, defendant. I had a case in Florida involving Dalia DiPolito. It was all over national news. Everybody covered it. And, you know, she was on videotape saying, I'm 1,000% sure I want to kill my husband. I argued entrapment against the police department. I went out and made a couple of comments in the media in that case, Connell, just about how I felt about a court ruling on the objective entrapment issue, and how I don't think we're going to get a fair trial in South Florida. And the prosecutor in that case requested a gag order against me and had it issued. So I couldn't talk about the case anymore until the case was over. So imagine that compared to this. When
Trump really hurts himself, though, potentially with all this. If you go back to here in New York, we haven't had the sentencing yet, but that could be impacted by all the talk, right, and all the violations of the gag order. Maybe in a normal situation, he gets no jail time. Maybe now he does. I don't know.
Exactly. You're raising an incredibly great point, which is why in the world, former President Trump, do you want to talk about this? Why do you want to criticize the FBI, the trial judge, prosecutors? Think about it. Prosecutors are going to be making a recommendation to the court about how much time you might have to spend in jail. Why are you out, attacking and impugning their character in a public forum when they might be determining your fate? I 100% agree with you.
Some of us have impulse control issues, Brian, you know, like you in Florida in that case. You just couldn't help yourself, and they had to put the gag order on you, you know, so it happens to the best. All right. Always good to see you, Brian Claypool. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.